Thank you, Starry. Pamela, would you like to answer
about
the
which
question
issue?
of how the...
Oh, yes, about CY. I think it's, in the future it will be really difficult for him because in the public, I think people lost confidence in him. And also, you know, all his defects, he even never addressed it. And also his members, all kinds of problems, they try to avoid. How can people believe him? And also the 10 ways of about the housing, we think this is really nothing much can help. So I don't know how he can manage. I am not to say what can be done, because I think it would be really difficult for him. Even if Hong Kong people is really nice, they accept him and they wait for his miracle, but I don't believe in miracle. Sorry.
Frederick?
I think the problem between CY and at least our party is not because whether he have met us or not, or discussing things with us or not. I think what his main value to rule Hong Kong, we need this. Before, Donald did told us, big market, small government. I think it's wrong. It's not good for today's. But how is this CY? You tell us how you rule, what is your principle? You tell me. I may not agree with you, but we can have chance to debate on it. We have chance to debate on different policies, especially for those deep-rooted problem policies for Hong Kong, like housing, like shall we develop more economic sectors? Shall we how to give more chance for our youngsters, younger generations to have more chance to grow up, to build up their social ladders and so on. But don't just make it as a social gathering. Hi, KK. Hi, KK. No use. That's what I want.
Okay. Very quickly, James.
Yes. Very difficult question. I would say all the parties have their platform in the election, their manifesto. So CY well understand that what are the higher priorities of policy proposal or so-called core values in our platforms. But for example, if you do want to engage, not just with the party but with the public, well, you must first maybe withdraw immediately the national education package, create more space for discussion, creating consensus. When you appoint those very extreme leftist person to those very important committees, then you are choosing your own way. You are choosing to exclude even the very more mild person or the middle person, okay, in the political spectrum. Then you are choosing your way to have extremely left policy. If you know that many of the parties want to narrow the gap with the rich and poor and have some kind of policy proposal, at least you should take some of their proposal into your next policy address. If the parties don't want to go become a part of the government, say the Democratic Party, don't want to have the political appointment, then at least we would not refuse to be appointed in some policy consultative committee. Okay, so you can appoint some more people so that you can listen directly in those committees our views. Okay. That's a core engagement.
Right, can we have another question from the floor, please?
May I say something if no question? May I say a little bit about this super election if nobody asks the questions, because both of them spend a lot of time. I want the media to really understand why this is the most unfair election because only the big party and the threshold, and also by sending letters, like they have parties, their candidate can have 5 times more letters and introductions to their homes. And also, like I said, even civil party, they cannot get in. And also the public, telling about 3 million or some people can vote, but they cannot enter the vote, they cannot participate themselves. Another thing is, this is only an exchange of 2 big parties to get 2 more seats on each side. One is the, the government Chinese liaison party. One is, I call them pseudo or false Democrat big party, because they said they always claim 24 seats, but they have secret discussion and exchange this super seat. Nobody else can participate. Even I have the chance to sneak in, but I don't think. I just want to have the belief that Hong Kong people will understand this so-called Democrat parties, even themselves, 3 of them, has taken the seat for over 20 years. Their young generations have never been come in. Not only that, and also not only that, even we want to, like in United States, Obama may have
to conclude very soon.
May have to give out the seat if they have no good result. But the last 20 years, they've been performing very, very unsatisfactory.
Okay, thank you, Pamela. Right. I think we will conclude today's very lively session.
Thank you.
We have one gentleman who wants to ask one question. Maybe we'll make this the last question.
Yes, my name is Oren Thatcher. Just a very quick question to everybody that's left, I guess, can be defined as a pro-democracy camp. But I'm just curious because everything that I heard, almost everything I heard, is about what, in terms of positions and attitudes about the system of governance in Hong Kong. Even national education, arguably, is about that. I'm a bit disappointed that not much was said about the real issues, or many sort of real issues that affect Hong Kong, like, needless to say, housing, economy, and so on, the gap between rich and poor. I mean, I really wish the debate could go beyond, let's say, maybe to pose it as a question. Let's say there was full democracy in Hong Kong, universal suffrage, we're over that, okay? What are your positions on some of those core issues? I mean, I don't mean to invite lengthy campaign speeches now, but I'm curious to know, maybe you can say, when will we be at a point where we can start talking about the issues as opposed to about the system? Okay,
how about we ask each candidate to spend 2 minutes to talk about your number one priority, outside of the issues that we've discussed already.
Okay. Yes. I mean, to me, it's housing or the property market. I think the market is unfair. It's a dead market now. It's controlled by a few big companies. So what you think that the government have to do 2 things. First, some people can't rent and buy the units in the market. It had to be built by the government, say the public housing and the HOS. On the other hand, for the markets, I think it's the only government have the power and authority to reframe it, make the market active, and make the market have competitions. That's what I think, not only a betterment for Hong Kong people, but also a betterment for people who are doing business in Hong Kong. So for these days, I think you are small and middle companies, you pay all your money to the rent.
James?
You have to be changed.
Yes, housing is the number one issue. Well, even in CY's platform and manifesto, he would have several tens of his articles written to the contribute to the debate and contribute to the newspaper before he was elected. Well, he would admit that in the last 15 years, the housing situation of Hong Kong people is deteriorating. You heard about these subdivided small flats. I can tell you that even professionals, young professionals, have to live in these subdivided small flats. Of course, they are not renting $1,000 or $2,000. They are paying about $4,000 with the in-house internet. Okay, a small window, very small window overlooking the harbor. Okay, this we call the luxurious subdivided flats, but they cannot afford. But suppose if a young graduate, university graduate, couples with 5 years to 10 years experience cannot afford to accumulate enough money for the first deposit and to plan for the long-term family creation,
Okay,
the
James, I
kids,
think I'll
next
have to cut
generation,
you off
then,
there.
sorry, I think it's a hopeless society. So housing is very important.
Please.
Okay.
I
And one
think
thing you want to
both
change.
these two parties have been said this for really long, and their long service in the government has been proven they are failure. But I just one or two single, very simple issue is about the housing and the travel. Because like the government can give the Tim area not to as the governor's palace, and also the north part of government places. They should distribute to the 18 or 19 districts. So this can save a lot of money for the government. They can rent it to the big business or the international business, and also the government staff can work in their own area. They save a lot of transportation and money. And then in the 1918 areas, if they don't have to take a long busing and save a lot of money and ecology-wise, it's very good. And there's a lot of land the government should give out, not only for the very expensive auction.
Okay.
Another thing is education, like very simple. Like I went to a junior college in City College of San Francisco. I didn't have to pay a penny for that, and also the government allowed me some job to do when I study. So I think the Hong Kong government and even the electrical members, they can deal with big companies like Cathay Pacific and Maxim Restaurants. They can train somebody and also get paid. I think that's a good way to learn from the Western countries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank Pamela and our other two speakers. I'm afraid, I know that there are lots more you want to ask the candidates, but we'll have to wind up for today. Thank you again for attending
Thank you
this
for your patience.
excellent panel.
Thank you.
And remember to vote.